Everyone asks me about lucky numbers. We all want to know what numbers around us are really ours. Well, again, we're vibrational in nature. If we know the numbers associated by our life path, which is our birth date, and our name when we come into this universe, we'll know what our lucky numbers are. We can use them all over in everything we do. I can help you with your lucky numbers. I have friends in the New York City area that I sometimes visit up there too, and do
and you'll travel to, if there's work, you'll travel?
Oh, certainly.
Okay.
I love meeting people, going to different places.
Plus, are you able to do numerology remotely? I mean, if people send you their information, you can do something for them and send it back to them by email?
Yeah, definitely. It's I even have numerological reports that are based on the books I study. This numerology program years ago. It was very tedious because I really did all the every single calculation myself. I could spend days doing
Absolutely.
So
I've done some of that.
Oh, have you? Mm-hmm. But now there's software on it, so I can, to answer your question, I usually, if I do an in-depth consultation on the phone, I ask people to email me a photo of themselves plus their birth date.
Oh, okay. And so you're looking at their energies as well as...
get a feel for who they are, every way. I like that. There's so much in a photo about the person, you can see.
Very true. Yeah. So how long does it take if somebody wants to do this, say, by email and send you a photo and their information and then do a phone consultation? How long does that normally take?
Well, usually when I'm with the person, I can tell them, I usually put aside half an hour just to do the core energies, which without the modifiers we discussed. Okay. But to get a really true picture of who you are and the things you'd be dealing with, it's good to do the whole analysis. Mm-hmm. The core analysis, I usually put half an hour aside. The full analysis, an hour, but that doesn't... That's for the person, the actual consultation. But I usually spend several hours before that getting all the information, analyzing it. Right. It's not a 1 hour for me.
So if somebody's going to have an in-person session with you, they're going to send you all that information ahead of time.
It'd be good. Yeah, because if I do, I could pull it up on my computer program and get the numbers fast, but I like to have time to absorb the energies myself. Right. There's not one person whose numerology I've done that I haven't felt I know them really well. Mm-hmm. The ones I've really analyzed. You're right in the flow.
I call it looking at our spiritual underwear, you know?
Yeah, I'm right in the flow. And, and again, I've gotten so much confirmation over the years, and people just nodding at me. It's always a nod. Everything I say, it's just truth.
And I'm sure, because I get this in hand analysis sessions often, where somebody has, I say something to them, and I can see a literal paradigm shift happening, like an awareness that they didn't have before. Yeah. And I love that. Yeah. I love that when people discover something about themselves.
Or they confirm something. Like one lady I was meeting with, I brought up, she's very quiet, didn't say anything, and I came to one, it was a modifier lesson that she's on, missing in her vibration. So if you're missing a vibration in your name, when you come to this reality, it's a lesson you're working on. It's a refining of the energy. So anyway, one of them, I gave her something about she may be experiencing some problems with boundaries and relationships, and she started crying. Yeah, she's going for therapy for that, and it just came out in her numbers, and and she's but it was heartening for her because she gave her some validity.
There's some reason I'm going through this. I think that's what's so wonderful.
There's a spiritual issue behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what's so wonderful about what you do and what hand analysis is and astrology is oftentimes we can give people confirmation, which is very, very important. Yeah. And because sometimes we're bebopping through life and we come up against one of those brick walls. Yeah. And if we don't really know ourselves and know our place in the universe, it's very difficult to know if that brick wall is either a sign that we're going in the wrong direction or a test of our commitment. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you know who you are and what you're supposed to be doing, it becomes easier to see, okay, I can see where this isn't in alignment with who I am, so I need to move.
Well, numerology definitely points up blocks. Again, it's all based on energies we bring with us, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And when you see what they are, it makes sense. It resonates. Well, this is why.
Well, no wonder I suck at whatever that is, right?
Instead of hitting your head against a brick wall, you kind of understand your energies and flow with them, use them for you, and not go against your natural energies. Right. And again, I've seen this over and over again. to me, it's just truth in the whole analysis, and people can use that to improve the quality of their life, their relationships. Well, that's how I think I pursued some analytical work in corporate America. So my numbers were detail-oriented and work-oriented, that I turned something that could have been, I don't like this type of work, into, wow, I went with it and had all these energies to do well.
Awesome.
So once I saw it, I was in the when I first came to Houston, I was in the restaurant business.
Oh.
Yeah. And so going to corporate America was very different. I just saw myself as people-oriented. And
well, if you're good with numbers, you can get a job pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Numbers really do. They're such an important part of our existence.
Yeah, and I think that's why numbers resonate with people too, because they're everywhere.
Right.
24 hours in the day, 12 months in the year.
So here's the thing. I have long said, and even in my book that was published in 2006, I tell people to go to 3 to 5 different sources, like numerology, astrology, hand analysis, whatever those sources are, within a fairly short period of time, and ask specifically for life purpose and life lesson information, core information, who am I at the core. And when they see 3 different or more modalities all saying the same thing within a pretty short period of time, that it's kind of like, okay, well, now it's time to wake up and smell the cappuccino here.
Peggy, what's heartening to me is that people are so open to all of this. Years ago, when I mentioned numerology, it was blank faces, no interest. I was very, very fashionable in the early 80s, mid-80s, and then for some reason it's not, as you said, quite as out there as astrology, things like that. And but now, though, people just want to know.
Right. I love that, too.
It's like, I think as we raise our vibrations, we'll have more and more of that.
They have more conscious curiosity.
Exactly.
Which is,
you wrote the right book.
Exactly. But, it's true. I think that is one of the keys to how we're going to really evolve and thrive in these new energies, is to get curious, especially about ourselves, especially about our place in the universe and what we're doing here. It makes
life easier. Because if you're not really dealing with what you should be dealing with, life is hard to keep getting knocked down to get the lessons, so to speak, accomplished.
Right. And once you know what the lessons are, at least you know why you're getting knocked down, right?
Yeah, it makes it mitigates the lesson. It makes life a lot easier.
Exactly. And I think that is so very important. Yeah. So if I understood you correctly, what's missing out of a name are the lessons, the numbers that are missing.
Vibrations. If you're missing a vibration, each letter in your name has a number attached to it, like P, as in Peggy, is a 7.
Okay.
And your first name is very relevant because the first letter of your first name is how you approach a situation.
Okay.
So Peggy is you'll analyze things before you make any decisions. You want to understand what's going on.
Yeah. Busted.
Like people with the 1, let's say the name Steve, S is a 1. That's a leadership number. So right away, Steve's going to go in there and try to figure out what to do fast. Like B, like Barack Obama. A lot of our leaders had 2. That's a 2. 2's try to bring people together, get them to cooperate.
Ah, okay.
Well, that may not always happen.
Well, he has a challenge with that right now. He's testing that.
But that's his innate approach. Without thinking, that's what he's going to try and do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that puts him in a pretty good job then.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of our leaders have the 1 approach or the 2. They're either going to be out there leading or they're going to try and bring people together. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what would you say is, well, let me back up because I was talking to somebody this past weekend and I think this is very, very exciting. We were talking about how wonderful it would be if parents had information on their babies from birth. Their numerology, their fingerprint analysis, their astrology, to know how to raise these young children, to know what their strengths and wisdoms are right from the womb. Wouldn't that be?
Any person that has knowledge of numerology and doesn't evaluate the name they're giving their baby, it's a disservice to the child.
Yes, that's true.
And I think we're as we raise our vibrations and we're getting more 12, 20, 12, 21 type center where we're getting higher levels of vibrations coming in. I think it's more relevant that we carefully name our children so that we can give them the highest vibrations possible since the universe will be offering us
that's
more.
that is such an amazing market for you. to check out the baby's name before you give it to the baby.
Oh, yeah.
Before you saddle that
well,
child.
I have my daughter programmed to have every scenario.
Well, really, I think that just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
What a great baby shower gift.
Yeah, I do give gifts of numerology. I have reports. I do analysis too. A lot of them is that, like New Year's coming up, baby names, things like that, especially new babies.
Oh,
but
just think that's amazing.
Since it's analysis, though, it's important not only the name, and you have to be careful because of the birth date. They have to be compatible. Let's say you pick this huge. It's all in the analysis, the interrelationships of the numbers. Let's say you have a baby and you have this huge name with very high vibrations, like master numbers. 11 and 22 are called the master numbers, and you might have somebody that's named that comes out to a vibration of 22, which is huge. But they have their life path, which is their birth date, and you unless you're having a prearranged birth, you really most likely won't know the birth date. Might be a low vibration number. So this baby
they become a walking
in,
dichotomy.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
this baby comes in with all this energy, no place to put it, basically. So you have to do the whole analysis.
I gotcha.
Think of the scenarios.
Okay, I gotcha. That makes total and perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Marilyn, it has just been so delightful to find you and to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And I'm just blown away that we had you on quite almost by accident on this particular day.
Yeah, we had an instant connection. And by the way, I really enjoyed your hand analysis.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's very relevant and resonated immediately.
Well, you're doing the right work. So I'll just validate that for you, is that you are really on your path.
Well, thank you.
Which is verified by your numbers and your hands.
Yeah, and I feel good about it. I just get confirmation after confirmation. As I said, people are so interested in it, so it's a good sharing. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, once again, how do people get in touch with you? It's numbersbymarilyn.com.
Or email me at numbersbymarilyn@aol.com.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Peggy.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Okay,
You'll be back. Actually, you're coming back on December 26th.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the new year.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll have more interesting numbers information for 2013, which is I'm already excited about this year now, right?
Oh, yeah. It's only good.
It's only good. It's all good. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And we're going to be right back. We're going to take a little musical break.